Welcome back to 20 Years of Doom. I'm Temin.
I'm Coffee.
And I'm Red.
Today we're in quote-unquote episode 2 of Doom 2. I suppose I should have mentioned this earlier, but I somewhat feel like it goes without saying, but I feel like I should say it anyway. I mentioned in part 1 that this was kind of like the pattern with Wolf 3D then Spear of Destiny, in that the first one was mail order and then the second one was retail. It also fits the pattern in that the first one was episodic and the second one is just one large episode.
I see.
Is this one of John Romero's maps?
This is a Sandy Peterson map.
What?
Oh.
The factory.
So, a little while ago we were talking about that, and we mentioned that there's a certain city-like map in the future that John Romero made, and I was like, oh, I bet I totally know which one that is. I thought it was this one.
Same
I've
here.
been fooled.
No, we're not quite there yet. The one John Romero made is even bigger.
I know what you're talking about. I'm actually looking forward to playing through that. While watching you play through it anyway.
Spoilers, that one's on the next video.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, I remember this one super well, just because there's so many, well, I mean, you know, Spider Masterminds start.
They're not Spider Masterminds, get it right, God!
Archnotrons.
Arachnotrons.
Yes, Arachnotrons.
Wait, I could have...
The Spider Mastermind's the big one. I'll come up with some kind of mnemonic so you can remember that.
Well, I know, but maybe I'm misremembering something. Because I was not confusing the two that time. Also,
this level is kind of weird in that there's just like this big outdoor area connecting all these smaller buildings. And I never knew about this building in my childhood. I always just walked straight into the main quote-unquote factory.
Don't you need to go through here to get to a key card or something like that?
No. Well, you have to go through here to get a secret, which is through that well, not really a secret, but a nice bonus through that teleporter.
Ah.
But first we gotta climb on some boxes. These are a bit dingier than the boxes back on, Phobos or Deimos or whatever.
Well, these are kind of just stored in some random warehouse out on the edge of wherever, so...
Also, that's a really mean trap on Ultraviolence. They just throw 4 imps at you and just literally right where you teleport to.
And you don't even telefrag them.
No, not a single one. So, I suppose this is the main factory. I couldn't even begin to tell you what they produce.
Also, for some reason, I always remember never having enough ammo for this room, so I would die a lot here. I don't know if it was because I was real wasteful when I was younger or what, but it was extremely frustrating to say the least.
Hold on, I'm going to pull off a cool trick.
What?
Boom!
What?
I just did a grab, son. That's a speedrun strat.
What?
So, I'm assuming that as we talked about how movement and velocity works, your next intended position allowed you to technically be far enough into the wall that the distance you needed to grab the key.
I'm so glad you understand.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I know video games good.
That's wonderful. I didn't even have to explain it. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my next intended position had my collision box overlapping with the key box, and therefore I collected it before I actually did the collision check.
It's really weird to be able to understand that, but at the same time, it's not like a big epiphany moment. It's just like, wow.
I understand it, but at the same time I don't, but you know what? I'm just going to accept it as is. I don't need to understand it.
But yeah, what Coffee was saying about the ammo situation, I feel like sometimes I have enough ammo to take on all those mancubuses, but other times I don't. I'm not sure what the discrepancy between those two occasions are, though.
Perhaps it's how ultra-violent and how secret hunting you are, irrespective of each other when you're getting here.
Remember this puzzle from the box maze? It's back. And I failed to show off how to ruin it last time. That's how you ruin it. If you go to a portion of it early, it stays as slime.
Huh.
Maybe I got brain.
What the hell?
Maybe I got brain damage, but I actually like that puzzle.
Yeah, it's all right. I like it too.
It's kind of cute for 1996.
Yeah. Thanks, Sandy.
Was it 1990?
So I just
was it
wondered...
1990?
This is 94, I believe.
Oh, 94, my bad.
Yeah.
So I have to wonder if the slime raising is intentional or not.
What do you mean?
Well, you said you can ruin the puzzle, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's a bug or if that's intentional.
I
Because I could see it being as sort of like a... Well, it raises the sector and then it changes it to whatever sprite or whatever floor texture is next to it, attached to it. So if you go there early...
Yeah, I want to say it's intentional, and that was just kind of an oversight of the way Sandy did that. Also, I almost never get that cell pack up there.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky.
Yeah, there's a crumbling floor, you gotta run to it, and there's a shotgun guy in the way.
Yeah.
Also, I have no idea what that switch does. If anyone knows, I'd be glad to discover something new about Doom 2.
Wasn't that also the room where you can get really fucked up real fast on ultraviolence?
I mean, it's got shot guys in it.
Shotgun guys, yeah. Also, I went back to pick up health for the next area.
That's fair.
Also, you'll notice the skybox is the same as the previous few levels, and that's not supposed to be the case. You know the city background I'd been using for the enemy bios?
Yeah.
That's the graphic that's supposed to be in the skybox right now, but due to this being an early version of Doom 2, the skybox hasn't changed. And with that...
So, bug.
Yeah. So I said Doom 2 is kind of one big episode, but it's also, at the same time, kind of bundled together in 3 quote-unquote pseudo-episodes. And they're kind of... You know, the text crawls, those are kind of the breaking points for those.
Right.
I don't remember this room at all. I'm drawing a blank on this room, to be honest.
I do a little bit. Mainly because cacodemons, but I think that's it.
Yeah, I remember this room quite well. I remember I would always tackle it with the plasma rifle in my childhood.
How well did that work out for you?
Pretty well, but at the same time, I always played on I'm Too Young to Die, so...
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I imagine with auto-aim and elevators moving up and down, it might not be the most effective avenue of murder.
No, definitely not.
You know what? I take that back. That's understandable when you were a kid. I shouldn't laugh.
Yeah. So here's the big city map that everyone hates, but I love. Not the one by John Romero. This one was also by Sandy Peterson.
Yeah, this one can suck my asshole.
I thought this was the map. I really did.
No.
Wow, we were both wrong. All right. Not alone.
God damn it.
So, real quick, here's a secret nobody knows about except me.
You showed me this secret. I totally know about that.
God dang it. It's not...
See, we're getting to the end of Doom 2, and this is where my memory really starts to kick in. These later levels of...
We're barely almost at the halfway point, friend.
Yeah.
No, not the Revenants. Come on. 4 of them.
So this map is delightful. It's just this huge city with a bunch of monsters roaming around, and you kind of just get to do whatever the heck you want.
I mean, I'll be pretty honest. Back in the day when we first discovered this, or rather when I did, I would always look at this map and go, man, I wish modern video games could be like this and just have big open expanses and lots of enemies to, you know, dynamically combat with. And I got my wish and I wasn't very happy with it.
Serious, Sam?
No, just, I mean, like, well, I guess, yeah, technically, but not really what I was looking for. More large-scale urban combat, I suppose.
Apparently this is supposed to be like downtown Mesquite, Texas. There's a... Oh.
Really?
Yeah, this rocket launcher is also a pretty neat trap. I'm not sure how we got, like, all these demons to instantly teleport in, but there you have it. Also, the ceiling is lava. It's a bit strange,
That's
but...
new.
Yeah. So that
Good
building right there,
jump.
with the elevator, I completely forgot to go to it in the video, but apparently the big black building is the Town East Towers, where id Software developed Doom 1 and 2. Just a big monolith black thing of a building.
Nice.
Yeah. And apparently, when they were working on Doom, The suite next door to theirs was like a dentist's office, so they would always hear like screams of pain all the time.
Oh.
And in addition to that, I think their suite number was actually 666.
Oh.
Of course they would somehow
Oh,
either get their
wow.
hands on that one or do their best to actually,
What are,
you know.
what are the chances of that lining up perfectly?
Well, no, see, it would be much better if they were in Suite 665 and the dentist was next door in Suite 666, you know, with yells of pain and screaming.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
And the dentist's name was like Dr. Lucy or something.
So, yeah, I finally made the first steps of progress in this map. There's a big, fat Sandy Peterson arrow pointing you in this direction at the start. For some reason, that's a Sandy Peterson thing in Doom 2, is just to put arrows pointing to where you're supposed to go in the maps.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not, but it's... You gotta admit, at least it's a little strange.
He must have been a big fan of when video games adapted giant arrows that point to your next destination or objective on your HUD.
Maybe. Also, oh god, I remember discovering this area for the first time. It's not even that well hidden, but I remember I'd played this map dozens of times and I never found that. And then I found this!
What?
What?
Oh,
I
man.
remember that, actually.
You can get into this supercharge, it's wonderful. God, I love
See,
Doom 2.
Oh.
It's funny, but I might actually not be surprised by some of these secrets, because for all my bumbling around and being lost in the maps, I've probably found some secrets that you didn't know about, only because I was just humping walls and trying to find the way to go. And it was like, hey, look, secret! Well, I'm just going to forget about this. It's not the right way.
Oh, right. Yeah, to be fair, some of the later maps have obtuse ways of getting to the end of the level, but
Yeah,
that really hasn't been the case so far. So,
we'll get there.
yep. So in this room, there's this blue key card. I always remember taking that teleporter just because I didn't know that it was an option not to.
Yeah, who would think to stop in front of the key and back up? I
Yeah.
mean, it's sort of a gut instinct. Doom teaches you to charge forward into enemies when you're young. And then only later, when you start to figure out the nuances of everything, do you realize that the backwards key is a great utility.
And how?
And how.
Oh god. I just love how many optional areas this map is. It's great.
Yeah, they did a pretty great job of having this, you know, having lots of multiple story buildings, or at least having it feel that way, even though
Yeah, they
I
faked it
believe
pretty
we've
well.
discussed, yes, there is no floor over floor in Doom, technically.
Yeah. Yeah, they just have a bunch of windows at different heights on the same wall.
Yep.
Also, that's a trick window. It's solid from the outside, but not from the inside.
So you can see through it and shoot people, and it's a dick move in deathmatch. Yep.
Yep. Also, that was a sick jump. I've never made that jump from that staircase to that box before. That's
Nice.
probably the first and only time I'll ever do that.
Congratulations.
Because I've been trying to make that jump ever since my childhood, and I made it.
Oh, wow. Or it'll be one of those things where now it becomes incredibly mundane, and you just, it's natural now, every time.
I doubt it.
Eh.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. So this is probably what I remember most about Doom 2, actually. Not this level in particular, but just after you start getting to the half point of the game, the levels start to feel longer because the enemies become so incredibly numerous.
Yeah.
You're getting tons of ammo, but it's just, oh man, it takes a while to chew through it.
Yeah, I think
And-
after... Sorry.
Just finishing thought. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think after map 12, or rather map 10, the map that has, over 300 monsters,
Yeah.
the game tends to stick to over 100 monsters per map.
300 monsters, huh?
Yeah. Although it doesn't compare to some of the megawatts we'll be playing.
Not even remotely close. Not even a tenth.
Oh yeah, and
oh man, I'm not looking forward to the mega.
boy.
I'm not looking forward to the megawads, but
oh god, and I missed that jump. Oops.
How many times? Just one?
Twice.
Oh, you had to wait for that long elevator twice.
Yeah.
I go 3 times.
I kind of remember that elevator, but that's probably because I also fucked up a lot on that jump.
So yeah,
I remember this place.
Yeah.
I like this place.
yeah. Fun fact.
What?
Besides the BFG, this was always where I would go first in this map. Now it's changed. Now I went there last.
Hmm.
And where am I going? I've been here.
Blue key card? You've had that for a bit.
Yeah. And
Oh, you're just doing what I do on most maps. I see.
yep. So here's the ending. It's just in this building next to an alley. What a finale.
I don't really understand the lava pit exit, but okay.
It's abstract.
This entire game's kind of abstract at times, to be honest.
Haven't you ever
That's true.
taken a lava porter?
Wait a minute, there's something familiar about this map. They're real familiar in a bad way, I mean.
Is it because you've played Doom 2 before?
No, it's because I played Doom 2 of a certain modification I'm not going to mention right this second.
So,
It was
yeah,
made this level 10 times harder than it needed to be, but anyway, go on.
I believe it. So this is map 14, the Inmost Dens by American McGee. I feel like this is, if not his last, one of his last maps in this game. Also, fun fact, American's his real name.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
I don't really remember anything about this map outside of the area you're in right now.
Well, this level's more or less this area, but multiplied a couple of times, but...
That's why.
Yeah, it is really unique architecture, I'll say.
Texture. All right.
Yeah, it's got this nice stone and staircase motif. It's a popular style to copy for some of certain wads.
Yeah.
Also, these doors I always thought they were kind of weird. They open via a walk trigger rather than just pressing spacebar. So I found it a bit strange.
I do like the little bridge over the moat. And now I remember why this map feels so samey. Because it kind of is.
Kind of reminds me of Smash TV in a sort of weird way.
Oh, from like overhead, I could see that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All the rooms look kind of the same. They're full of monsters, and the way through is to kill everything, although I don't know if that's the same for this map or not.
I don't know if there are any doors that are locked by monster lives.
It's not until like...
It's a weird concept.
It's not until like, what? The
Well,
Quake days or something like that?
it happened in Doom 1 with the Barons in E1M8, but
Yep.
it's not really a thing in any other maps that we've been in so far.
I will say one thing that I do actually dislike incredibly about this map, and it's not even this map's fault. I don't know why, but this soundtrack in particular just grates on me so badly.
Interesting.
I don't know, I
It's
just
funny 'cause,
don't like it.
the Dave D. Taylor Blues. That's fun because this was one of my favorite tracks as a child. I've grown out of it though. I agree, it's kind of not that great.
Yeah, well, okay, so I actually do like the intro of the song, and when it starts going, it's like, yeah.
Also,
And then it feels, well, it's quite fitting for this map, because it feels like the song immediately repeats, just as if it were almost a 60-second song in its entirety, just looping.
It's like the guy who made it knew what was coming.
Yeah.
yeah, it is long, I'll say, but it does. The melody's not exactly distinct between, the quote-unquote verses.
Right.
I mean, it's distinct, it's just not, memorable, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm trying to say, but...
So when you're playing Doom and you're not really paying attention to the music so much, it does feel like you've been listening to the same song very shortly after you've started listening to it. for forever though.
Oh yeah. Another thing about this song, I think it's also the most commonly used level song in the game.
That's probably why I dislike it so much then.
And also a weird fact on the second and third iterations of this song in the game, there's a glitch that causes a single loop to just get stuck in MIDI playback limbo forever.
Oh.
So you'll just hear this one square lead synth note go on for like, I don't know, half the song until the song loops. It's obnoxious. But luckily I'm adding the music in post and that's not an issue.
I'd actually kind of like to hear that.
Yeah, it's obnoxious and it's kind of weird because sometimes the singular note fits, but most of the time it doesn't.
Almost like it hits the wrong octave when it plays, and so it mismatches the rest of the song, and then sometimes it plays at just the right key and it sounds fine.
Yeah, not quite the terminology, but yeah, I know what you were getting at. Also, there are no secrets flagged in this map, but that's the end.
Sorry, octave is a bit of a large jump for notations in the pitch.
Yep. But the end, again.
Yeah. The end.